The opening scene features a 12-year-old girl named Tenia who is practicing gymnastics at her house. She is being filmed by her mother, who is a former figure skater and now an influencer. Following this, Tenia playfully surprises her father, also recording it for their vlog. Afterward, the entire family gathers in front of the camera to end their vlog. Just then, a loud noise from the window startles them. Tina goes to investigate and finds a feather stuck to the glass. Upon opening the window, a crow flies in, wreaking havoc in the living room. Tina, her father, and her younger brother, Matthias, attempt to capture the crow, while her mother worries over expensive glass decor. The crow soon destroys a chandelier and lands on the floor. At this point, Tina comes up with an idea and covers the bird with a blanket before capturing it. She intends to release it outside, but before she can, her mother asks for the bird and then snaps its neck. Mercilessly saddened, Tina disposes of the crow in the trash can, not noticing that it's still moving. Later, Tina meets her new neighbor Rita and her French bulldog. Tina tries to pet the dog, but it reacts aggressively. Apologetic Rita explains that her dog has never acted this way before. Sure, but same night, Tina and her mother sing a goodnight song to Matthias. After letting him fall asleep, her mother shows her their latest vlog, portraying them as a happy Finnish family. While watching, Tina tells her mother about their new neighbor girl, who is invited her to come over. However, her mother reminds her of her upcoming gymnastics competition, emphasizing the need for focus. At the stroke of midnight, Tina is awakened by crying sounds. She goes to check the trash can, but the crow is already gone. Following the noise, she ventures into the woods and discovers the severely injured crow on the ground. She initially tries to help, but inadvertently worsens its condition. As a result, she picks up a stone and bashes its head multiple times, putting it out of its misery. Moments later, she notices the crow's egg, making her feel guilty about her action. She then brings the egg home, incubates it underneath a pillow. The next day, Tenia dedicates herself to gymnastics practice, but she struggles to do a flip and make a graceful landing. Coach warns her that she won't be able to participate in an upcoming competition unless she improves after practice. Tina's friends invite her to hang out, but she declines out of fear of her mother's disapproval. Upon returning home, Tina catches her mother making out with a repairman named Toro. This creates an awkward situation for all of them, so Tina heads to her room. Later on, her mother walks in with a new outfit for her upcoming competition. As they converse, her mother tells her about Toro, explaining that the adults have special friends. She also asks Tina to keep it a secret. Tina feels it is wrong and thinks of talking with her father, but she is unable to gather enough courage to do so. A few days later, Tina is astonished to find that the egg under her pillow is growing bigger as a result. She cuts open her teddy bear and stuffs the egg inside. During a practice session the following day, she meets Rita, who is also a gymnast like her. However, she turns out to be much better than Tina, as she does the flip and even makes a perfect landing. Tenia's mother, who is observing this, becomes envious of Rita's skills. As a result, she makes Tenia stay after hours to perform the move repeatedly, despite her hands developing blisters. Eventually, Tenia achieves the landing, but still needs further improvement. In the evening, Tina and her mother are watching their vlog when the latter confesses that she is in love with Taro. This revelation shocks Tina, and she worries about her father. With a saddened face, she returns to a room and sobs, placing her head on the egg, which is now gotten humongous. After a while, the egg starts to hatch, revealing a claw-like appendage. Frightened, Tina hides in her closet and peers through the cracks. Soon after, a strange skeletal creature resembling a baby bird emerges and escapes through the window. Hearing the sound of shattering window glass, Tina's father comes to check in a hurry. Tina covers the egg remnants with her blanket and tells her father that a large bird had crashed in. The following evening, the mysterious creature reappears in Tina's room. Startling her, she tries to retreat, but notices that it has sustained an injury from a shard of broken glass. Reluctantly, Tina removes the shard and covers her face out of fear. Soon the creature reaches out and takes her hand, guiding her to pet it. Realizing that the creature poses no harm, she befriends it and names it Ollie. She proceeds to clean Ollie in the bathtub before allowing it to sleep beneath her bed. While asleep, Tina is awakened by the barking of Rita's dog, which also rouses Ollie. The creature then leaps out the window and heads towards the neighbor's house. Before long, Tina awakens to find Ollie on top of her, with the dog's decapitated body beside her. This gruesome sight makes her throw up, but she feels even more disgusted when Ollie starts eating her vomit. This went from weird to nightmare real quick. In the early morning, Tina wraps the dog's lifeless body in a towel and buries it in the backyard. Unbeknownst to her, her younger brother is watching her actions. Through the window, Matthias complains to their father, who then confronts Tina in her room. However, upon noticing blood stains on her bed sheets, he mistakenly assumes that she has experienced her first period and leaves her alone later. After school, Tina visits a pet store to purchase some pet food. There she meets her fellow gymnastics friends, including Rita. Her peers make fun of her for being shy, but Rita extends a friendly hand and invites Tina to walk home together. During their walk, Rita requests Tina's assistance in putting up missing dog posters for her lost dog. Unaware of what happened, Tina returns home with one of the posters, which Matthias notices the same time. Their mother gifts Tina with a hairbrush, but she doesn't have anything for Matthias. As frustrates the young boy's self, he digs up the dog's corpse and brings it in front of the parents, blaming Tina. However, their parents dismiss Matthias's claim and chastise him for his misbehavior. Enraged, Matthias walks upstairs to his room. He suddenly notices a shadow moving inside Tina's room. He then enters her room wearing a mask. As he proceeds to check under the bed, Ollie slashes his mask in ear downstairs. Tina begins to experience a seizure, indicating a psychic connection between her and Allie. The mother goes to chat, only to discover Tina's competition outfit torn off. This upsets her as she believes that the competition isn't important for her. Later on, Tina eats the pet food and vomits it up to feed Ollie. She also covers the creature with one of her dresses. You're not fooling anyone, Tina. That thing looks during the same night. Ollie goes to Tina's mother and leaves its slimy goo in her hand, and by this prompts the mother to wake up and sense passing shadow. She grabs a knife and investigates, but she is soon joined by Matthias, who claims that there's a monster in the house. She brushes off his claim, dressing it as a nightmare. In the next scene, we see Tina and Rita practicing their gymnastic routines. Rita performs much better than Tina, which upsets her mother again. After practice, Tina's mother offers Rita a ride home, but the girl opts to walk. While driving back, Tina suddenly senses that Ollie is about to attack Rita, causing her to panic and request a U-turn. Meanwhile, Rita feels someone is following her and begins to run. Ollie, now taking on a more human-like form, launches an attack in a brutal manner. At the same time, Tina suffers from a seizure, but her mother manages to calm her down. Soon as they arrive home, Tina rushes to a room, only to discover Ollie's molted beak, making her realize that the creature's beginning to look like a human. Still not fooling anyone, the next day, the family is having their breakfast when Tina's mother shares her decision to visit Tara's house and stay there for a couple of days. She also intends to take Tina along, that she can relieve her pre-competition stress. Later, when Tina and her father are alone at the dining table, he reveals that he knows about her mother's affair. With Taro, he says that he respects his wife's decision, but deep down he is hurt afterwards. Tina and her mother arrive at Tara's house, and Tina learns that Tara is a widower with an infant named Helmi. The same night, Ollie shows up outside Tina's room window. She allows the creature inside, where they share a night's rest together. The following day, Tina visits Rita at the hospital with flowers. But she is horrified by the severity of her injuries and amputated a left hand. "My pet doesn't usually bite, I swear," she says. When Rita sees Tina, she grabs her hand and begins to scream. This terrifies Tina, who then breaks herself free and escapes. Back home, Tina breaks down in tears, realizing the harm that Ollie has inflicted upon her friend. She shouts at Ollie and even slaps herself as a form of punishment. Ollie stops and tries to console her with a comforting hug. In the morning, Tina wakes up to discover that Ollie is beginning to look more like her. Later on, Taro hears Tina coughing in her room and goes to check on her. When the girl refuses to let him in, Taro forcefully opens the door, only to see Ollie feeding on Tina's vomit. The creature gets scared and attacks him, but Tina closes the door just in time to prevent him from harm. Throughout the incident, Tina hides behind the door, so Tara still doesn't know that Ollie and Tina are different. The two appear like twins at this point after. It doesn't know that Ollie and Tina are different. The two appear like twins at this point. After a while, Tina walks out and apologizes to Tara for the incident. She shares her decision to return home so that he doesn't have to face any more problems. Tara graciously forgives her and suggests that she discuss her unusual behavior with her mother. In response, Tina pleads with him not to reveal anything to her mother. Just then, her mother walks in to pick up Tina for her competition. Before departing, Tina practices some of her moves, which are still imperfect. Witnessing this, her mother scolds her, urging her to concentrate. The same time, Helmi cries, and her mother lovingly attends to the child, provoking jealousy in Tina. Moments later, Tina notices Ollie hearing through her bedroom window, causing her to fear that Ollie might harm the child. While she's away, however, she fails to persuade her mother to take Helmi along. At the competition, the mother records her performance for her vlog. As Tina begins her routine, she becomes connected to Ollie, who is resulting in an injury to a wrist, which simultaneously stops Ollie's actions. Tara notices Ollie, but the creature escapes before he can react. As soon as Tina and her mother return, Tara vents his rage on them. He throws them out of the house, telling Tina's mother that her daughter has a serious problem. With this breakup, Tina's mother, in a fit of distress, bangs her head against the steering wheel, causing her nose to bleed. She places blame on Tina for shattering her happiness. Upon arriving back home, Tina spots Ollie outside her window, but this time she prevents it from entering and instead pushes it away. Following this, Tina goes to her mother's room and promises to perform better next time. However, her mother is still upset with her. While Tina is in the bathroom, her mother enters her room only to find Ollie in the closet, mistaking her for Tina. She brings her out and starts brushing her hair. Amidst this, she accidentally rips a chunk of Ollie's hair out with the brush in response. The creature digs her sharp nails into the woman's back. Hearing the commotion, Tina hurries to a room and separates Ollie from her mother. She scolds Ollie for its actions and orders it to leave. After the creature departs, Tina finally reveals that all the recent chaos is because of Ollie. Despite this shocking revelation, her mother embraces Tina and then hands her a knife, urging her to hunt down Ollie in the next scene. The mother-daughter duo can be seen venturing downstairs in search of Ollie. Along the way, they find Matthias and the father and warn them about the creature. When they return back to Tina's room, the creature launches on the mother and pins her down. However, she manages to reach her knife and stabs it in the leg, which hurts Tina in parallel. As her mother prepares for a second attack, Tina tries to stop her, explaining that she hatched Ellie. Nevertheless, her mother proceeds with the attack. But at the last second, the stupid girl intervenes and gets herself stabbed. Instead, Tina collapses onto Ollie and dies. with her blood entering the creature's mouth. This causes Ollie to turn fully into a human. Ollie pushes Tina's lifeless body aside and croaks out one word, "Mother." The movie ends as Ollie sits up and stares at Tina's grieving mother. "All right, class.